Welcome back to my channel. I'm Leo's Harmony, and today we're taking a look at what you're learning now and how that's going to affect you. So we have two different piles here. Please go ahead and pick your pile and we can go ahead and get started with your reading. Okay, pile one, welcome to your reading. So you got the card I Honor Virtue. So what this is telling me is that maybe you're learning how to be a good person, or if you are already a good person, this is relating to that in some capacity. So what we're going to do now is pull some oracle cards to get more information about this, and then we can kind of move on from there. You got the card I Am Healing. It says deep wound, overcome the pain, and rebuild. So there's some form or some type of behavior or some type of journey that you're on where you are healing, and your guides just want you to know that maybe you're doing a really good job with this. For some of you, I am seeing that this is about learning how to be a good person, and maybe you weren't in the past, and that's completely fine because you're kind of learning that now. And you're changing your ways. But let's pull a few more cards to get more information. You got the card Commitment. So maybe you are committing to healing right now, and maybe you didn't in the past. And maybe that's something that's different for you at the moment. Let me maybe get one more card. You got the card Community. So what this is kind of telling me is that you're not alone. You're basically healing here, and there's a lot of people to support you and care about you, and they're here to help. So I don't think there is any worrying about this. I think you're doing a really good job. You're doing whatever you need to. For some of you, maybe this is healing past trauma with relationships and commitment. So that could be a reason that that came up. For others, it doesn't necessarily have to be that, but I think it could mean the whole committing to actually healing aspect. I'm going to pull a few tarot cards and I'll be right back, and that'll give us more information. Okay, pile one. So you got the Two of Wands, you got the Four of Swords, Seven of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, and Strength. So what this is telling me is that you basically chose to heal. So you chose to heal instead of staying stuck. You basically made this decision here with the whole, am I going to be stuck in this place where I'm at now? Or am I going to change and take this initiative because I'm tired of being this way? And what you decided is that I am healing, and you committed to it. And what this is telling me is that you took the right step here. Your guides are actually saying you took the right step as well. Healing here with the Four of Swords, and you're kind of looking back in your past. You're looking at all the stuff from the past and everything you've kind of worked on. And you know, like these circles here can be like little seeds that you planted where you are like healing, right? And you're letting things kind of grow in a way that you didn't before. You're letting things kind of come to you in a more healthy way. You're dealing with things in a healthier way because of this, because you learned how to wait and heal and be the best version of yourself. And what that is kind of telling me here with the ending of with these two cards is that you're finding stability. The King of Pentacles is about stability. And you know, this could be about money as well, but I'm seeing this more in a way of like emotions and relationships. So strength also tells me that you're finding strength in a way that's like, I'm strong because of the person that I am now, not so much as like, oh, you know, you're healing like you're such a strong person. Like, no, that's not what I'm saying. More along the lines of like I'm powerful now because of what I did and how I healed and what I went through. And that type of strength, it's really hard to find. And, it's kind of like you're building yourself up and you have really thick skin because of that. So with community, I am seeing that whenever you kind of finish this process, you will find your own community of people that will be there for you, that will love you and support you the way you're meant to be, where you can be like vulnerable. So even though I said that the Seven of Pentacles is about like building those seeds up, it can also kind of talk about the past a bit. So you're healing some type of wound here, and it could deal with like community here, but I think you're dealing with this in a really good way. This could be a relationship wound, but you're, doing what you need to. I wouldn't really worry too much about this. You're basically doing what you need to here, and your guides are agreeing with this, and you're fine, basically. So with the whole virtue card here, I think is more talking about how you're learning how to be a better person to yourself rather than to other people. Because I think that's why maybe you are kind of pushing people away, and that might be causing you to be a bit more lonely. But in a way, the Four of Swords is about kind of like retreating and being alone to kind of heal. So it's not like you're doing anything wrong, but I think it's kind of time to kind of find your community because you kind of healed a lot already. So this is what you already learned and what you're going to continue to learn until you finally complete this cycle. Let's pull a few closing cards because this was a very straightforward reading. You got the card Inspire. It says there's a fire inside you burning brighter than the sun. So I think in you healing, not only are you going to inspire other people, but maybe you're going to inspire like your friends and family to do the same. So if this is like a generational curse type of thing, right? Where maybe your mom or your dad or whatever have some type of, pain that they deal with, and then it's getting passed down to the children and then the grandchildren and so on. I feel like you're kind of stopping this cycle here. You're stopping it, and everyone's going to look at you and be like, huh, like maybe there is a better way to handle this. And I think you are kind of like that start, and this is really good for you. And I think you're going to be more seen as like a leader because of that, because of the difference that you're doing compared to everyone else. It says eternity. Give yourself permission to slow down. So I think this is like a little warning here. So be careful of trying to, heal everything in one go. I think you need to give yourself time to actually deal with your emotions and deal with what happened. And it doesn't have to happen overnight. So what this is telling me is that maybe you're doing things too quickly and you need to take a moment and take a breather, right? So breathe and slow down, and you will be able to do this, at the pace that you're meant to do it. You don't have to do it overnight. And I feel like it's better that way because you might learn a little bit more. You might miss the details that you didn't have if you just kind of rush through everything, right? Limitless. It says know your worth. So what this is telling me is that you might be self-conscious right now, but in healing, you're going to find yourself so valuable. You're going to be like, I'm that bitch, right? Like, I am so good, I am so beautiful, I am healthy, I am like anyone's lucky to be with me. Like anyone, and like there will be nothing that will make you jealous or sad or whatever. because you know you are a piece of Wagyu beef or something. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up, but you know, you're top grade and you will find that. You'll find that and you'll know that and you'll believe it. But I love this reading for you. This was really fun and inviting. So that is it for you, Pile 1. I hope this reading will help you in some way. If you did like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you would like a personalized reading, my Etsy is linked down below, but thank you for watching. Hi, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So you got the card, I Give Blessings. So you're kind of learning how to give blessings to other people because maybe you received a lot already. Or this can kind of mean that, you know, you are getting blessings in some way. And I think maybe there's a way for you to share it with other people. Let's pull a few oracle cards to get more information about this, and that'll give us, you know, the right idea here. But let me go ahead and do that. So you got the card, I Am Independent. It says freedom, liberation, individuality, and free spirit. So maybe what you're kind of learning here is how to be more independent. Or maybe you're kind of learning how not to be independent. So depending on the other cards that we get, this will kind of give us more information about this. So let me go ahead and let me go ahead and pull a few more oracle cards from a different deck. Your first card here is Warning. So I'm not really sure what your guides are trying to tell you yet. So let me pull one more. I'm kind of feeling this one actually. Self-interest. So I think for a lot of you, this is about, you know, like you're very much wanting to do things your way and maybe what you want, but that's not necessarily like the best thing for you. And I think you are kind of learning here how to give blessings to other people because I think you are too independent in a way that maybe you're trying to take everything. And what you're kind of learning is how to give more to other people. So let me pull tarot to get a lot more information about this than what these oracle cards are giving, and I'll be right back. Okay, pile 2. So you got the Moon, you got the Page of Cups, you got the 8 of Swords, 6 of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, and 3 of Cups. So these cards kind of fell out together, so I put these, you know, like on the same pile, I guess. So what I'm kind of getting from this is that the Moon is kind of like uncertainty, right? In tarot. And then the Page of Cups is about learning something in relation to your emotions. And then the 8 of Swords is kind of like feeling stuck. So there's some type of like weird energy here where you don't know your emotions and you kind of feel stuck at the same time. And it's kind of like affecting you in a way. But what I'm kind of getting here is that I think I was right about this whole like weird energy of the whole like you're being independent but too much, but also you're kind of learning how to be and not to be at the same time. And also maybe you're doing too many things in your own favor, and with the blessings you're learning how to give blessings but also kind of like take them and share them. So it's like this really weird energy. And I think that's why I was kind of confused, because I think it is about all of that here. So Six of Pentacles is about giving and taking. Nine of Pentacles is about receiving, everything that you want in life. Six of Wands is about success. So I think what your guides are trying to tell you here is that you're receiving blessings and you are successful right now. But I think there's a need for you to kind of share this and give to others as well, like your friends, especially with the Three of Cups. People that you're very close to and your friends, I think you should share with. There's a need for you to learn that, and there's a need for you to kind of like be or act more selfless. So very giving, very, like well, not necessarily like I'm going to pay like your college tuition or whatever, right? But, well, if you have enough money to do that, I mean, go ahead. But um, I think this is more talking about how you have a lot of good stuff here, but there is like this weird energy where you don't know your emotions that well and your thought process, and you're kind of feeling stuck. And I think this is because you're learning here how to be independent in a healthy way rather than something negative. Like there's people who are independent and still want love, right? And then there's people who are independent and are so repulsed by it that they don't want to be near it. And, that's a balance between, being healthy and unhealthy, because not wanting it can be like a trauma type of thing or like a pain type of thing. So they don't want to go through that again. So it's kind of something weird going on here with the same thing. So like maybe we're taken advantage of by friends in the past and you found a better group at the moment, but you're still kind of hesitant about like giving, right, to your friends. So like, but there's a warning here, right? Warning kind of came up for you that maybe you're being too overprotective about, your, I guess, gifts and how much you're kind of giving out, where it's kind of affecting you negatively. So what this reading is kind of saying is that you need to learn how to let that pain go from the past and kind of like move forward and learn how to be independent in that healthy way that I was talking about. So you're kind of receiving, right, gifts and love from your friends, and then you're also giving gifts and love to your friends. And you need to find that balance where you're not being taken advantage of, but you're also not being really stingy and making it seem like you're overprotective in a way that maybe your friends will interpret as like, oh, do they really like me? Because they're being kind of weird and mean. So again, that's a warning. And I feel like it's basically saying that will happen if you don't change now. So let me pull a few closing cards and maybe it'll give us more information. You got New Horizons. It says old ways won't open new doors. So again, like this old thinking that you have, this old, emotional response is not good. So it's basically saying to start over. It says boundaries. It says put a ring around yourself and your energies. So what that's kind of telling me is that you're kind of learning how to deal with like boundaries and how to do that in a healthy way that isn't hurtful to the relationships around you. So that is why that came up. And if you kind of notice, the boundaries here are kind of on someone that looks like they're bound. So your boundaries are kind of binding you from happiness, basically. You got courage here. It says wish upon a star and release all limiting beliefs. So like kind of what we talked about here, like you're limiting yourself and your relationships because of your past and the pain that you had with it. So you're kind of learning how to do this in a healthy way rather than what you thought was healthy, but you kind of took it too far. Let me actually pull one more for you. breathe, it says inhale stardust, exhale magic. So in and out energy here. Letting the out go and letting the new come in. Or, sorry, letting the old out and letting the new in. So there is a need for you to kind of, let that old stuff go. You're binding yourself in a way, so like you're keeping yourself from moving forward and having like this positive relationship with the people around you because of the way that you're acting. And what you thought was healthy is not healthy. So you're kind of needing to learn this, and then that'll help you a lot more in life. But that is it for you, Pile 2. I hope this reading helped you in some way. If you did like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you would like a personalized reading, my Etsy is linked down below. But thank you for watching.